Just before I start this video, I wanted to thank whoever's been sending me BSV to my tip address. Much appreciated. If anybody sends me anything, it brings a smile to my face, even if it's the smallest amount. In some ways, the really small amounts bring me the most joy because you're using it the way Bitcoin was intended. Microtransactions, guys. This is what we used to do. The Bitcoin SV channel with Shem, Satoshi, and Bitcoin Tramp, we used to send duros around. It's the smallest unit of Vietnamese currency. I don't know why we chose that. I think it was because it was the smallest amount that we could do with hand cash or whatever it was. But this shows you the power of the network. Use it. It really invigorates the network. It shows that we're about using, not sitting around doing nothing. And thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Hi everyone, it's the Bitcoin SV Bulldozer. So this is thoughts after day one of COPA. I read Kurt Wookert Jr.'s comments on Twitter, aka X. Really don't like that name. And here's my prediction. Craig Wright has already lost. No, I'm not having a laugh at his expense. I think the whole thing is ironic. Look, he's got a chance. He's got a very slight chance, but just the way he's behaving, it's no different from the way he's always behaved. This sort of dancing around, not really doing the right thing, kind of presenting crummy stuff. It's all just so repetitive and monotonous. And it's interesting because I really hadn't caught up with people's views on Craig Wright. I think they've changed their views. I think the sentiment around Craig Wright has changed. And it's due to a number of things. Firstly, Bitcoin SV, during that period from 2018 to 2020, restoration, fixing it all up, and Craig Wright was kind of seen as the hero, kind of the godlike figure, and a lot of people were bought into the idea that it was Satoshi. I was never fully bought in. I think at one point I was maybe sort of 70-30 that he was, but for a long time I've been, in that grey zone 50-50, and I still am. But I think people are just sick of him. People are sick of this and sick of him. And the change that has occurred, I think, is the whole ordinals thing. And last year with actually doing stuff and getting on with it and not even caring anymore, right? We've got Bitcoin, the real Bitcoin, as close as possible anyway, and we're doing stuff with it now, and we don't even need you anymore. At least that's what I think has become the perception in the space, in BSV. And I think that they might be wrong. I think that if he left, something would come up that would say, oh God, it might be better if he stayed. Because then it would be up to us to make sure that what happened to Bitcoin previously never happens again. There's no fork, that the protocol is absolutely set in stone. And I think that might be the attack vector if he were to leave. One positive though, or it might be a positive, hard to say, because it'd be interesting to see how the Blockstream cult responds to it all. So there's this attachment, I think, of Craig Wright to Bitcoin SV, and therefore, as a result of association, Bitcoin SV becomes the scam coin because Craig Wright is, in quote marks, fake Toshi, or in quote marks, a fraud. So therefore, BSV must be a fraud, right? But what has BSV done to deserve the title of scam coin? Nobody's been scammed through BSV. How is BSV the scam? It's a scam only by association. So if Craig Wright were to leave, then they would be scrambling around to find other people to associate with a coin that are of dubious repute, i.e. Calvin Ayre. Now, if Calvin Ayre left, then what would they do? They'd start scraping around the barrel looking for somebody to associate Bitcoin SV with, some other person of ill repute. And the funny thing is that Bitcoin SV isn't the scam. As we know in the Bitcoin SV space, BTC is the scam, and it's arguably one of the biggest scams in history. Wow. So, yeah, interesting times. I think the rose-tinted glasses in relation to Craig Wright have been thoroughly blown away now. I can see the sentiment has shifted. And I don't blame people. We're sick of the stories, we're sick of the shenanigans, we're sick of court. So just go away and we'll just continue on working. It's a distraction actually. COPA is a distraction, I think. So I guess that's it. I predict Craig will lose, and I wonder how long this court case is going to last, because to me, it just, as soon as I started reading the commentary, it was like, oh my God, this is over. This is already over. It's already over before it's begun. So am I a negative Nancy? I'm just telling you how I see it. And I'm open to the possibility that I could be wrong, but now I give him like a 1% chance of winning. I reckon it's that low now. Ciao for now.